Oh my gosh. Welcome back, One Love Jamaica family. Just behind me, we are at the foot of Long Mountain. We are currently at the Rockfort Mineral Spa. I'm in the parking area. We're here to look at the recently reopened Mineral Spring, which has been closed since COVID. I do hope you enjoyed this video. So One Love family, where it's a full car park on this busy Saturday afternoon. So this is I think this is a play field area. They normally would play like scrimmage and so for members of staff of CMX or Carib Cement. And as I said, this has been reopened now for about a week. That is the main entrance that you will drive or walk through. And we'll make our way this way now to the area we will pay to enter the facility. As you can see, today is an extremely busy day. I don't know if I should say it's surprisingly busy because it's the weekend. And as I said, this will be the first week since the facility has been reopened. There's a lot of chatter and noise coming from the inside. There are a lot of children and so on playing. And it looks like there is a line to enter. Wow. Well, this has been closed now for approximately 5 years. So I am not surprised about the wait that they experience now. So I One Love family. So we have to sign a waiver and release form. So let me just read like basically the first paragraph. It says I, and then you have to sign your name. Sign your name on off. I guess you give your address or the parish. Hereby release the Rockfort Mineral Bath Complex Limited, in brackets the facility, its officers, employees, agents, heirs, successors, and assigns from all liabilities whatsoever, whether present or future, and all damages, actions, proceedings, costs, claims, demands, and expenses arising from any personal injury, accident, death, illness, contagious or infectious disease during an epidemic, pandemic, or public health emergency, or property loss or damage, however caused, arising from, or in any way related to or connected with any use of the facility. And it reads on. As I said, I'm not going to necessarily read, but as you can hear, this is to protect the facility from any kind of liability, which is understandable. If you go to Disney, I think when you automatically buy a ticket, you automatically have to sign the waiver. So this is understandable, people. It's just to make sure that everything is done the right way. Unlike many persons, I rather to read something before I just sign. So let us make our way now to the entrance. It says Rockfort Mineral Bath, welcome. Well, this is the area that you pay. You going to pay? Okay, cool. Well, see some kids here, they're looking at some fish, this section of the water. Like I said earlier, judging by the amount of vehicles parked on the outside, today seems to be an extremely busy day. So I'm not sure which member of the One Love Jamaica family specialize in any fish. You can tell me exactly what kind of fish that's in the water. This seems to be one of the main attractions here while persons are waiting to enter the pool. As I said, the pool is on that side. As you can see, there's a long line to go into that area. I'm just going to make a little walk. As I said earlier on, I touched on the property rules. It says no alcohol, no drugs, no smoking, no weapons. The price is adults $700, seniors $55 and over $500, children $500, and general admission $300. Is she okay? Alright, good. Okay, so let's take a walk now on this side. Let's take a further look at the facility. There's a pump located on the property right there. I'm not sure what's behind these walls. So let's take a walk up at this section of the property I'm not sure if we're allowed access everywhere on the facility, but I'll go as far as possible where we can get a look to see. A lot of these plants will be covered with dust because we're basically right beside where the cement company is. I think that area on that side would be closed. Here, this is an extension of the area, a little canal that they would have made for the fish that we would have been looking at earlier on. But this area is where, good afternoon, is where they have an assembly point, an emergency point, and this would be for the employees of the cement company that would have access to all of this area. Judging by what you see in terms of the walls here, this building must have some historical significance. I can see a cannon over there, and I'm seeing by looking at a lot of these doors, and so there's one there right up on the hill. You can see it right there. It's a nice, that looks like a hawk. We in Jamaica would say a chicken hawk that just flew by a while ago. So yeah, as I said, this area must have some kind of historical significance. I'll probably drop that in later on. But this is the view from this point. This is a nicely kept area. Up there, that would basically be the foot of Long Mountain. That would be the foot of Long Mountain. You'd see that this area would have been affected by some amount of mining by Carib Cement. Over the many decades it has been here. Carib Cement is now controlled by a Mexican company called CEMEX. And again, another look at sections of Carib Cement. There's not much we can see above this building. You may be able to see more from the drone footage that I'll be doing and dropping in that kind of B-roll for you to see. At this time now, I'll head back towards the general pool area. As I would have pointed out earlier, the area at this time seems to be full, and you can imagine it almost like a fight for space. Persons here waiting patiently. Let's head around to this side. After years of anticipation, the gates of the Rockfort Mineral Bath in Kingston have finally swung open again, restoring one of Jamaica's most treasured wellness and heritage sites to the public. Tucked at the foot of Long Mountain, the complex has always held a special place in the hearts of Jamaicans, not just for its soothing waters, but for the layers of history it carries. So here on the inside, as you can see, today we have a full pool day. A full pool. I'm not going in the pool, I'm just walking around, that's all. Yeah, man. Wow. My gosh. Now this is all the noise I was hearing from the outside. Wow. Well, if I'm coming here with my family, definitely the weekends would be out. If they come here in the week, especially like school is being reopened now, it's probably much better for us to do it that time than to come on an extremely busy day like today. But like I said earlier on, we're just here to take a look at the reopened facility. This is the changing room area and toilets, and over there, over to our left here, persons can go and have a shower. My God, though. This is a lot of people though, but it's a big pool, as you can see. from just my approximation, this is probably at least 50, I would say about 40 to 50 meters on the long side, and the width is probably about, I would say 15 to 20 meters. Yes, but yes, today is a very crowded day here. See the areas where you can persons relax. Here would be the deep end, 3 feet 3 inches. This is massive, 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 massive. And a lot of people. I'm surprised that so many persons came out today. I know some persons had to leave earlier because they just couldn't wait. They weren't patient enough. I said, but it's a really, really good day. Can't wait, so. I'll whip my way back on the outside. Let us take a look on this other section, which is the third. So over here is a restricted area. This is where you find most of the fishes are. And you can see the water now burst in that section. And you would have known about the kind of healing powers that these waters have. I'll be updating you on that with the voiceover. The facility has not been totally refurbished, but persons can access the pool because, as I said, this area is not accessible at the moment. This is the seating area now. So if you want to come and you want to have your meals, you relax with your family. So this is not bad at all. I'm sure many persons who come here would enjoy themselves on a daily basis. So One Love family, we have now left the facility. Now we're just going to make a drive up the road to come back around to show you another section that many persons would have been using, and they still use it, especially since the facility was closed since COVID. So this might just, so you can take a look now and see the Carib Cement facility from the ground level. As soon as I'm able to make a right turn, I'll make a right turn. I'll just show you that section briefly. Right now, as we speak, they're replacing a lot of the light poles that are in the middle of the roadway. I've seen this project going on for now for at least maybe 2 to 3 weeks, where they're taking out the old, so as you can see the metal poles, there are some old concrete ones, as you can see here, that have now been replaced with these metal poles, which is a good look because this place was really in need of some changes. This goes along with a lot of the other construction road work that you would have seen going on. See what would have been some of the older looking poles here, and they're now replacing a lot of them with these kind of metal poles here. So you'll be experiencing much better lighting conditions, especially in the night or when it gets dark and overcast. I guess I'll have to go to drive the full journey up to the Harbour View roundabout and then I spin around. But do enjoy the ride. And since I'm here, I'm relatively close to the airport. You know what? I'm just going to take a ride to see the recently reopened roundabout for the Norman Manley International Airport. It's a few miles up, but once I'm in the area, just what the heck, just do a all-in-one since I'm out here. You'd have seen one of my recent videos. I did something on the entertainment zone, which is at Fort Rocky. Same off the Palisades Strip here. Not going that far because that's close to Port Royal. Just going to take a quick look at the roundabout and then head back up. Since I had to come as far as the Harbour View roundabout, I just said what the heck. Just take another 5 minutes to drive up here, take a look at that roundabout. That would have been featured in also another previous Port Royal video which I looked at the pier. And at that time it was all white. It has been now painted and a huge Jamaican flag is there. As I was saying before, One Love Jamaica family, I'm here to give you an update on this roundabout that was recently reopened by the Norman Manley International Airport. You know, the facility I think is managed by a Mexican company. I look if there's any signage that indicates the name of the company, but if you look, you see there's a gigantic Jamaican flag. Yes, gigantic, a very large Jamaican flag that's on display here. So there's the gigantic Jamaican flag. It would seem that the roundabout is painted in green, gold and black, which, why, if I could fly a drone in this here, but this is basically a no-fly zone where drones are concerned. So you see the sign, Kingston. It's very colorful, showing Jamaican culture, junk canoe, netball, entertainment, cyclists, all kind of different sports and music. Yeah, so this is it, One Love Jamaica family. Like I said, let me go a bit closer just to get an idea of what this. He said lead artist Matthew McCarthy, assistant artist Susanna Nissenberger, Joshua Solas, Kobab Zidi, Taj Francis. The title is Traffic Blockin. Sponsor PAC Kingston Airport Limited, and it was created this year in 2025. So we're just going to make our way quickly. I'll just take a quick jog around here because I need to move my vehicle very soon before the police come and tell me I have to move, because it's really an area where I should not be parked in. Yeah, so here the sign says NMIA Grupo Aerotuario del Pacifico. I do hope I have pronounced that correctly. And you see that's the hummingbird, and there are a number of other birds there on display. So this is really a beautiful look, and again the backdrop of the Jamaican flag. I had highlighted earlier One Love Jamaica family. Over there is where you have the official Rockfort Mineral Bath or Spa. Now this section is a section where a lot of people would come with the same water that would flow from over there and flow through this area out to the sea. So a lot of persons would come and actually have a bath here. As the sun sets over the freshly restored complex, Rockfort Mineral Bath is no longer just a memory. It is once again a gathering place, a monument where Jamaicans can reconnect with their past, their health, and each other. So One Love Jamaica family, this is where I'll end the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one.